Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Can everyone see me? First of all, can you give me a thumbs up if they can see me?
You're looking good.
Thanks, Philippa. I want to know from attendees. They can just drop a message or just they can see. Okay, I see thumbs up. They're able to see my slides. Are you able to see the AI dev week thing? Okay, looks cool. Great. Thank you, everyone. So I'll just get into the crux of the matter. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon again. So today's topic, what we are going to discuss on is harnessing the power of AI with Azure from innovation to implementation with Microsoft Foundry. Okay, so this is a very long title we have thought of, and I'll just get into it. But let's start with a little introduction about me. So I'm Saksham Kumar. I'm a lead moderator for the Microsoft Student Ambassadors program. I'm also an Azure AI engineer, and also I research in cloud AI and healthcare. So I have some background in AI. So I just came here to share a few of my learnings, which I have got to know in the research field, and whatever changes have brought in the Microsoft AI over the past few years. So, so coming on to the topics which we're going to cover today. So we'll start with rise of AI. How did the AI get into so big? How did the hype start? And what is the current scenario of AI? What Microsoft is contributing in it? And followed by language model progression, whichever you see the chat GPT models, the Claude, Gemini, what are these? How actually do they work? So followed by we'll go into a little of ML Studio. It is a notebook platform and also an AI model platform, which will get into it. And I'll just show a little view of it, followed by a little demo of Microsoft AI Foundry, which is the flagship AI platform of Microsoft, which hosts multiple models for building, operating, and evaluating. So let's jump into the presentation. So what is all the hype about, first of all? What do you think? Technologies only move this fast when people feel value instantly, right? There have been telephones, there have been mobile phones, there have been PCs, the internet. There are so many things which have happened in the last few years which I've seen. It includes blockchain, Web3. So AI isn't just a cool demo because you're seeing this hype is not dying soon enough. So it will go for next 10, 20 years. And I also have no idea, you also have no idea what it is going to do in the next few years. So AI is now a daily productivity tool. So fast adoption only happens when the value is immediate and scalable. As you know, people are using it. Most of the organization, around 80% of organizations are using it, and people are stressing on the impact and learning AI tools and how to make the best use out of them in their businesses and their personal prospects. So how fast do consumers adapt to AI? This slide explains the hype in one picture. So generative AI has reached 39% adoption in just 2 years, as you can see on the slide on the left. The internet took nearly 5 years to get there. And personal computers, the laptops and the desktop which we have which are at our homes, it took nearly a decade. So this isn't just a normal tech growth. It's a platform shift which happened at a warping speed. So when customers started adopting this fast, businesses were also forced to adapt even faster. So expectations changed, workflows changed, and entire markets were reorganized around AI. So that's why AI isn't just a future strategy anymore. It's a present capability. And the real challenge now is moving from experimentation of AI models to real, secure, scalable implementation, which is exactly where Azure and Microsoft Foundry comes in. So, to understand what has changed and what all this hype is about, let's do a step back. Let's try to define some basic pre-learnings about AI and natural language processing, which forms the basis of most of the models which you're using. If we enlarge the time window, we can observe how fast things weren't so always fast. The first projects in the AI domain dates back to the 60s, where the first researchers began to explore the possibility to create machines which can replicate some of the human cognitive capabilities like talking, like conversations, like let's say I and you are talking, two humans are talking. Can the computer demonstrate the same cognitive capabilities? So initially, symbolic reasoning was just a prevalent approach. Like we will use symbols. If you have some background in AI, you will know about multiple symbols we used to demonstrate the logics. We have multiple logics involved in it and how we represent them. But to get them into practice, it was still very far-fetched. And it led to multiple important successes too, such as Eliza. If you can just search Eliza internet on the internet, it's the first written chatbot which acts as a psychiatrist. You can just type it out. If I get some time, I'll also demonstrate it. So if I just type out anything out there, it'll give a very generic response. It won't give, if I say, what is my name? It will give, okay, you should take some medicine. Let's say I talk about where do you live? It will say you should take care. Means that there are some very generic responses which keeps on randomly changing. Let's say it has around 10 commands. It's already prefetted there. So it keeps on which every message, it just gives one of the message output. So it's not very innovative, but at least it was just the start, like how computers might behave in the future. So this was the story of 1966. So however, it became clear that such an approach will not scale well, right? We don't want like I ask some question and you give a generic response. So extracting the knowledge from an expert and representing it in a computer and keeping the knowledge base. Knowledge base is the whole knowledge. Let's say I'm asking you questions from a book. So the book is the knowledge base. So extracting knowledge from an expert and representing it in a computer and keeping that knowledge base accurate turns out to be a very complex task. Like I have to take the data out from a system. Let's say I have to take data out from a book. I have to make it into a language which will be understandable to you. So it is a very complex task and it is very expensive it's very expensive in many practical cases. And this actually led to the AI winter. If you can search or you can search on internet, it was AI winter started in 1970s when the research from after 1966 and the start of AI actually declined and plummeted because it was so expensive to keep up. People were not giving so much impact or funding wasn't coming to the field. So a turning point arrives during the 90s. Will the technological evolution of the models, which started becoming cheaper and cheaper, and were able to handle large amounts of data, and new algorithms were coming up, new machine learning algorithms, and computers were able to detect patterns from data without being explicitly programmed with specific instructions. So, in particularly, what happened is new statistical models called as neural networks, which were inspired by the biological structure of a brain and which made of interconnected neurons, gave the boost to the AI research development. If you can see, this is just like a brain. Like I have a node here, multiple nodes here. It's connected to nodes. It is so much interconnected. Like, okay, I'm communicating. So it was just becoming like a network of neurons inside the brain, which gave boost to the AI research development. We're trying to replicate the features of a brain inside a computer. So now computers were able to work with more complex input. And it wasn't just categories or numbers. Let's say if you categorize a gender, male or female, it wasn't just about that. If you categorize a number like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So if you want to categorize that, that wasn't just the limit. We are now able to work with images and audio. So these statistical models belonging to a subgroup of ML and was created, which is now called as deep learning, which also benefited from the availability of more powerful type of elaboration units, which you know as GPUs. So this kept on developing over the years. The World Wide Web came, computers were getting more accessible, you're getting GPUs, CPUs. So multiple innovations are already going on. So around the start of 2010s, modern virtual assistants start to emerge inside our homes. Like it was Siri, if you have Apple, Cortana, if you have been a user of Windows 8 and 10, you might be knowing Cortana. The Google Assistants, if you have an Android phone, of course you know Google Assistant. They were all they were all natural language models based on the neural network architecture, which is this one. It was based on this. So they are very proficient in subdomain of AI, which is called as natural language processing, which I have been. talking about for the past few minutes, and the capability of the machine to process and interpret human language. After all, you all know that computers don't understand human language. They don't understand English. It's all about zeros and ones. And to understand how these things are connected, it's always going to be a very complex task. So researchers identified a specific need in the input request from the users, and they were also able to pair it with suitable answers. Means if I have a question, okay, it is able to understand the question. Based on that, it is able to give accurate answers as well. So these answers would rather be based on web searches, like if you do a Google search, or a list of predefined answers. Let's say you already have 10 answers already, like all the questions you're asking, it is going to be the answer of one of them is going to be from these 10 questions. So this was getting more advanced. So that was the start of modern assistance. So now generative AI is the cutting edge technology which forms the basis of everything which is happening today. And it is now able to generate examples starting from a huge amounts of data. If you have researched about GPT, if you have searched it, it has around trillions of parameters. So huge amount of data was used to train a model, and all the data publicly accessible of the internet must have been used to train it. That's why we talk them as large language models, because of the amount of data they use for training and the number of calculations. It's all mathematics. AI, you can just say, is a very glorified way of saying mathematics. AI is nothing more. So there are always going to be calculation. All the language, the English words, the French words, the Hindi words, all are going to be get converted into zeros and ones. There is going to be a lot of mathematics, and again, it is going to reverse engineer back into the language of your choice. And we will see it in more detail from text to images. Okay. In the image, you can see of a large language model. When asking if you are able to see it, in the image, you can see the output of a large language model. When asking for a poetry, you are asking for a poetry, it is giving one, if you're able to see it clearly. So today we have moved from rule-based bots to systems that see, hear, reason, and act across workflows. We already have the generative AI and transformer architecture as the base, but now we have added images, we have added PowerPoints, we have added Excel sheets. We can make projects out of it. You can write code, and multiple agents are working together to bring this to you. And it's not just answering question; it is doing everyday tasks for you, which we call as agentic AI. So, am I clear till now? I know it is going a little bit boring. So, are you with me right now? So, you can give me a thumbs up. I'll just get into more interesting matters for now. Okay, thank you guys. So, this is the last lecture slide, not much, and I'll just jump into more interesting things. So, we have discussed a lot of things about AI. So, can you, some of you just give me a few answers on it? What do you think AI is? Ask you. Don't search it. Whatever comes best in your mind, whatever is the first thought that comes to you, can you just drop it? What do you think AI is? A few words about AI. Let's say if someone answers. I'm hoping that someone does. Feel free to just write it out. No one is going to judge you. It's all we are just getting into a conversation. If someone can put it, I think everyone's shy. Philippa, can you just check if you're available there? If the chat is enabled for the participants. Are you able to see the chat? Organizers? Anyone?
I guess the chat is not enabled for the participants.
Is it not? Philippa is able to type. Just give me a second if you guys are not
Yeah,
able to
due to the
talk.
organization policy, the external people might not be access to the meeting chat.
Like, I think it should be available. Okay. Just try it. Let me try it out. I think Q&A is available for you guys. You can post it to Q&A. You can write comments out here. Chat is not available. Just give me a second. Okay, it is enabled for, yeah, I can see it's enabled for everyone. I do think people are shy to just write down some answers. No worries. I'll just jump into it. Okay, I don't want to waste much of your time. So what is AI? AI is refers to the simulation of human intelligence. AI is just we are just making computer humanized, and they are able to think, learn, and solve problems like a human. AI systems can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as recognizing speech, making decisions, and translating languages. Essentially, AI enables computers and other machines to act intelligently by using algorithms and data to understand and interact with their environment. So what Microsoft has been spearheading the AI revolution for the past few years. So let's just go over a few of the updates that have been announced in a few months. Yeah, thank you, Vinay. That was a great answer. Yeah, almost pinpointing. So I'll just get into the Microsoft AI timeline. So it started mostly with June 2022. It has been for, I was saying, it has been 2015, but I am just pointing the very, what do you call, changing parts of the whole timeline, which actually brought some revolution and some change in the industry. It started in June 2022 with GitHub Copilot. If you are a VS Code user or a PyCharm user, you might be knowing about this. Or even if you are a regular user of GitHub, now GitHub chat is available right there. So GitHub Copilot, an AI-empowered pair programmer, was released to all the developers. And okay, San, can you do me? Can you just help me out with the participants? If someone just joins,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get them in.
I'm just seeing the
Okay.
things. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
carry on.
So in June 2022, GitHub Copilot was made available, and everyone was having a pair companion that can code for you. You do have the code. Copilot does half of the work. So tasks were getting completed fast and fast for coders, at least for the programmers, for the developers. Coming on to the next one is January 2023. Microsoft partners with OpenAI, the developer of ChatGPT, Prism, whatever main models or websites you might be knowing about today, which spearheads the AI revolution, OpenAI. Microsoft partnered with them, which enabled access to of Azure customers to OpenAI models. If you're an Azure user and you use Azure AI, all of the models were now available to the customers for industrial users, for development users, and all the development workflows inside OpenAI was now hosted onto Microsoft platforms. Like all OpenAI things were now hosted onto Microsoft. So May 2023, Microsoft Fabric was also publicly released. Uh, okay, Microsoft Fabric, which is an AI platform, power platform, which can do data analytics from end to end, from getting the data. If you are into data analytics, you might love this. Microsoft Fabric just helps you to get data and to present it to your viewers. You have Power BI in it, you have data snaps, you have data engineering, and 100 other things which are available all together in Fabric, from getting data to making insights for your users. Everything is available onto one platform. That's Microsoft Fabric. So in April 2024, the SLM started. Everyone knew about, okay, LLMs are doing great. Chat GPT is doing great. GPT models are doing great. Gemini is already doing it. But people started to see that LLM models are very slow. They are very big and we don't want, let's say you want to do a very small task. Why would I use an LLM? I don't need it. I want something which is faster. I don't want such a large data corpus. So that was the turning point to research into SLMs, that is small language models. So Microsoft released the Phi 3 family, which proves that small language models can can provide massive can compete with LLMs in massive numbers in efficiency as well as cost, because running them was faster, it was efficient, and it was easier for organizers to use them. So if you have seen multiple websites are using chatbots, most of them are going to be SLMs, not LLMs, because they're faster. If you're getting very fast replies, it is most probably SLM, because LLMs do take time some time. So they are most probably using SLM because it is cheaper for them and it replies to you faster. So June 2025, it transitioned from agentic AI. with the launch of autonomous copilot agents. August 2025, the latest GPT-5 models were released, which were able to answer questions on a PhD level, advanced logic and heavy problem solving, and it has a massive context window. Means you were able to put multiple messages if you're able to put a large amount of message in just one time. So that was the increase of the context window. So which made feel like GPT-4 was just a toy. So recently, January 2026, Microsoft finished rebranding from Azure AI Studio to Microsoft Foundry. It was earlier called Azure AI Studio, which rebranded to Foundry, which brought multiple tools, building models, then deploying them, then fine-tuning them, making agents. All of this was brought into Microsoft Foundry. And at the end of the session, I'll just show you how this Foundry looks. Okay, so Microsoft AI platform is now divided into 5 layers, which actually follows most of the AI. If you want to get into AI, this is the level this is the whole layering which you're going to follow. I'm just telling in terms of Microsoft, but you can replicate it to other things also. So it starts with the foundational layer, the way if you just can focus on the last one right here. So it started with the engine room of the AI. That is where the raw intelligence lives. With the big shift here is choice. Now you can choose between OpenAI model. If you love GPT, of course go for it. Also, you have multiple open models from Mistral, from Llama, from Anthropic's Claude. You can use on many open models, or you also have the model catalog in ML Studio. You can make your own models. You can make decision trees, you can make linear regression models, you can make ensemble models, whatever you want to make, and you can deploy them. It also gives you first class access to the open models, which I've already told. So it's now like a utility grid. Like you put in specific model into, let's say you already have a car and it's an electric car. So you can use any of the charges available. Whichever fits your with your speed and budget, you can just go with it. Followed by agent and an app layer, the brain and the hands. So we are now moving into agentic AI, right? So this is where the chatbots come into action. So to develop chatbots, you can use Microsoft Agent Framework if you are a very much pro coder, okay, to build very complex logic. Or if you want to go to a no code approach, you want to keep it as minimal as possible. You can use Foundry Agent Service for a fully managed experience. It handles everything for you. Just a few lines of code and you're good to go. You have frameworks, which you have. We have Llama, we have LangChain, we have multiple other frameworks which you can connect. And also you make use of the tool calling and model context protocol. If you know, Anthropic released it. Sign would be just tomorrow. Sign will be taking day after tomorrow. Sign will be taking a session. So if you want to join, you can learn about MCP right there. Frameworks also, Philippa will be discussing tomorrow, so you can join that session also to know more about it. The knowledge and data layer. Now we have Azure AI search. What does Azure AI search do is, it's just like the Bing search. Okay, I have asked a question. What if I need to pull some data from internet? So Azure AI search does that, keeps it vectorized. If you know about vectorizing, it keeps it vectorized so that you can access it as fast as possible. Followed by Microsoft Fabric, which I told you just unifies all the data and give you insights. Structured and unstructured grounding. Grounding is when you want to keep the answers as close to the data as possible. It don't want the model to hallucinate. I asked about apple, it answers about bananas. It shouldn't be like that, right? So grounding is very much important there. How much grounding you want. Vector and semantic retrieval, that is to retrieve data from a database. And semantic retrieval means the language should be maintained out there. Followed by safety and observation. If you're getting into industries, this is very much required. Like you have evaluations, tracing, like how your models are working. Prompt and model management, followed by RBAC, that is role-based access control, like only the people which have privilege to access. Let's say you want to give access to a few of your team members, only those have access, and also private networking. If you want to just deploy it to a particular number of users, that's it. And also we also have to make sure that while scaling, responsible AI practices are kept in compliance with, which Himani will be talking. She also has a session a day after tomorrow. And applications, if you are not at all concerned about any of these, you can just get into application from, you can use the Power Platform. It helps you to develop Copilot just by coding, not by coding, just by prompts. You give it, it will make for you. The Copilot and Copilot Studio does the same. You don't need to code a single line. It will do it for you. Or you can use pre-made APIs or custom applications which are already available. So language models progression, I just skimmed through it. It's not much. So that is the pivot of today's AI hype. So how a neural network understands a sentence. I'll not get because I'm getting a little bored. So I'll just get into very fast how a neural network understands a sentence. What it does it takes a sentence and it has statistics involved, as I said, it's mathematical models. So what it does is it divides the whole sentence into tokens and turns the tokens into numbers because computers only understand numbers, right? So it just divides it and each individual unit, like this is a token, this is a token, or everything, the 31, 23, 28, it is all divided into and represented by numbers. And it is mapped using some kind of embedding or a dictionary, and the frequency and multiple uh, attributes of the whole sentence are taken into consideration, followed by we make it into you dimensionalize it and vectorize it so that vectors are faster to access, so we just convert it into a vector for faster accession, followed by we make it into a neural network. We make all the words, if you can see he is made right there. Let's see, okay, so he is now here, she is now here, I is now here, so it is all represented in a 3D space. Now everything is connected with a neural network. I can just show you, yeah. So everything is connected right here, and it is all three-dimensional. It is everything is represented out there, and it is connected like a brain, like a neural network out there. So now, whenever you ask a question, what actually happens is, if you can show you, let's say, let's say who drank what? Let's say he drank what? If someone is asked, if some question like that is asked, what will the LLM do is it will see, it will just divide. Let's say what I asked, he drank what, if something is that. So first it will divide it. The question will be divided into three parts. He will be divided, rank will be divided, what will be divided. So as you can see, he is a matching word here. So first it will go to the position here. Okay. And whatever words are closer to it, it will try to answer based on that. So you can see drank is nearer to it, coffee is nearer to it. So the LLM might do some mathematics and it will come at he drank coffee or he drank tea, whichever is most apt answer, it will work according to it. That's how our brain also works. The same logic is now being applied to computers, which is where our computers in three-dimensional space. Now this sentence can be in two dimensions, three dimensions. It can be 10 dimensions. It depends on the complexity of the data. So that's how neural network understands a sentence. The context matters. So that is easy to grasp representing words in a semantic space. That similar words are in proximity to one another, and some words might not be enough to represent the whole meaning of a sentence or a text. The reason is that context matters. The same word can assume a different meaning according to the context in which it's used. Like, let's say, Apple is a phone. Apple is a phone brand. Apple is a fruit also. Bank can be the one which where we deposit money, or bank can be a river bank. So understanding what we are actually talking about, we need to understand the whole sentence. We need to understand the semantic of it. So it is because English, which you call as English, is a funny language. So one word can have multiple meanings also. So that we need to take care of. But computer does it everything. The whole mathematics handles it out. So we don't need to get much into it. So we can just skim right through. So what new in transform models is being performed is there are multiple words, right? So what transform models does is it gives differential focus. Let's say for it will try to divide it, like let's say the highlighted words, the words in blue are given more weights, and these words like the adjectives, the multiple, you can say adjectives, the nouns, the verbs, the adverbs will have lesser weightage because these are not very relevant to what we want. So weights are being assigned. so that whenever the context space is created, the brain which you're talking about, the three-dimensional space whenever you're talking about, so it is able to differentiate like what we are talking. So let's say it gives a weight like we have to give 100% weightage to this, 100% weightage to this. So whenever answer is being provided, make sure we take 100% of it into consideration. And don't think like this, the coffee in morning, just take 70% of it. So this weightage, like what focus we have to provide, how much focus we have to provide. So transformer models, like today's whatever we are with the GPT models or Claude, Anthropic models, whatever we are using is based on transformer models. So the unique thing about them is they are able to differentiate how much focus we have to give on each word, or if you're giving an input image, how much focus we have to give on different segments, the pixels of the image. So that's what transform model is doing. As you can see, why didn't Mary accept the offer? So it will go one by one, it will jump to here, it will see whatever is matching, it will come, and accordingly, it can come up with an answer like Mary, she didn't accept a cup of coffee, and the language can be handled. You can come up with the language, not an issue. Let's just skip. So attention learns deep networks learning without proximity. So with even if the words are not close to them, you see Mary and she, it is far away. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around 7 to 8 words far away. Even though attention models are able to understand this difference, like it is very much associated with this, it is very much associated with that question. It is accordingly able to give you answers. If you want to get into what transform models done, you can always research it. You can search it online. How attention models will work. You don't need to get into the mathematics of it, but learn just to see how these things work. It is very interesting and mind grasping. So, Machine Learning Studio. Has anyone just played around with Machine Learning Studio? Has every one of you? You can just put a chat yes or no or a thumbs up. This is the first time you're hearing it about. Okay, some of them I've heard. Okay, I'll just show you. Give me a second. I can just show you. What Machine Learning Studio does is it has a user-friendly interface to make models. Okay, Gaurav, I guess Gaurav has learned it. Comprehensive, it has comprehensive toolkit. It already has pre-built algorithms, data processing. Scalability, it is able if you're making a model and if you want to deploy it, Azure ML Studio has it. It has collaboration with ML Ops and then multiple things available. You can see the cheat sheet, what it is able to do. It can do multiple text analytics. It can do regression, multiple kinds of regression. Because if you want to extract information, you could do text analytics. If you want to predict values, you can do regression. If you want to find unusual occurrences, like something all of a sudden happens, you can try anomaly detection. We have PCA there, we have word class support vector machines, SVMs. We want to discover the structure of the data. We have k-means, we have to generate recommendation, we have generative models, predict categories, this is the decision tree or classification, and predict between several categories and classify image. So I'll just too much talk is there. So I can just jump into ML Studio. I'll show you what does ML Studio do. Give me a second. Great. So I can just jump right into it. Okay. You're able to see it, right? You're able to see the ML Studio. Someone can give us a thumbs up. Okay, I think yeah, people are able to see it. Okay. So this is Machine Learning Studio. You can always go to ml.azure.com. So that is the URL. If the organizers can drop it, that would be great. But yeah, you will need to have an Azure subscription for that. So till now, I'm showing it from my subscription. You can always experiment it when you have an account. We'll also tell you how to make an account later. So you can make notebooks, just like if you know how to use Colabs, if you know the Python notebooks or you know R notebooks. So you can always do that. You can make notebooks out here. If you want to make a new file, you can make a notebook out here and you can code it. Just cancel it out. You can make ML automated ML jobs. Let's say you want to make a pipeline, like let's say some trigger happens. Let's say in the morning, just tell me how, just give me an email. So that is automated ML. If you want to just take, want to make a workflow, like let's say, I want to have the latest news, the latest trending news in my inbox every day. So this ML job can do that for you. Just without writing a single line of code, you can just write it. You can just explain it to what to do, and you can just design it. The designer out here is also does the same thing, but using individual interactive models. Prompt flow does the same task. Data, if you want to maintain some data from which you can pull out the question or answering, that's data for you. We have jobs. We have components which forms the basic building blocks to perform specific tasks like data processing, image processing, model training. We have pipelines. Pipelines will be we will get into pipelines into later sessions. Okay. We have environments. Let's say you want to give, if you know about environments, if you have worked with Conda, if you work with Anaconda, you make different environments for different tasks. If you want to run an ML flow model, you can use this. You want to use Python SDK, you can use this. Models, endpoints, you can always endpoints is when you have made, let's say you have made a model and you want to deploy it for users, for everyone. You can use this thing. It will work. It will be deployed publicly. It will work like an API. So this thing can help you to make an API of your own model. So this is compute. If you want to host a CPU or a GPU instance, you can make your own. You can use any one of them which is available to you. Whichever comes under your free tier, you can use any of them and you can make it. You have CPUs and GPUs as well. Yeah, monitoring to monitor whatever is happening, the dip between the ML models. The data labeling, if let's say you have a task of labeling a data as, let's say you have multiple images. You have male, female images. You have to label them if the photo is of a male or a female. This thing can help you out for. And connection is just to handle whatever the data connections you have between resources. Let's say I have a data storage, I have a database. To connect all of them together, that's ML Studio.
Hang tight. We'll be right back. We just, I think they were switching screens and it looks like the video froze. For now.
There's some technical glitch, I guess.
All right. Well, we all have a minute, so you want to check out the if you can see the chat. Oh, okay. Saksham is rejoining. I was gonna say it's ml.azure.com is the site for the machine learning studio. So want to check that out while we're waiting for Saksham to rejoin the call. He just got dropped. He's coming right back. All right, so yeah, just give us a second. We're so excited you're all here, and we're super excited about the lineup we have. So we've got 5 more sessions, and yeah, just really excited for it. All right, so give us a second. We'll get our speaker and our illustrious host back here just a moment. He's chatted with us saying he's logging back in. But yeah, in the meantime, if you want to check out the ml.azure.com, you can see what he was just demoing for yourself. And yeah, our other speakers and co-hosts. Yeah, and Cyan was also mentioning Microsoft Foundry, such a cool tool. And if you want to know more about Microsoft Foundry, they also have Discord chats that you can join. They call it Model Monday, and then I think just ask anything Fridays. So you can learn all about the different models that they have in Azure Foundry. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Philippa, for keeping me captivated. I think Teams is not keeping up with me today.
No, it's all good. We're glad you're back. Okay, I turn it back over to you.
Okay. Yeah, guys, I forgot. Do you have any questions till now? I'm sorry, really sorry about that interruption. Do you have any questions? Of course, we are just skimming through it, but you're always free to ask any questions related to AI and ML. If you want to ask, just come up to mic. I'll just take a break for a few minutes. Okay, if you want to ask questions, you can just shoot them right up. I think the chats are available. You can just come on to just so you can unmute yourself. You can ask a question. I think that will work great. I think I have a very shy audience. No worries. I'll just jump right into it. Also, yeah, I'll open the floor in the last so you can ask a question. So what is actually cheating? I'll just jump right into it. We don't have a lot of time right now. We'll jump right into it. So from model partnership to AI platform ecosystem, what AI Foundry is doing different. Right now, earlier the stories was just one powerful model provider. If you know, I told in the initial about Microsoft, how Microsoft was partnered with OpenAI. So that was just the start. So today, as I told you, it has rebranded to Foundry from Azure AI Studio. Now it lets you pick, lets organization pick the right model for the reasoning, speed, cost, or domain specialization, all governed in one platform. That's Foundry. So the offering starts from OpenAI's GPT, Sora, and embedding models like DaVinci is there, and we have multiple embedding models available. Microsoft's own five models, Anthropic's Claude models, that is Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku. We have DeepSeek models, Mistral, NVIDIA, Cohere, Kimi, XA, Llama, which makes up just that's just a sliver of the 350 models available out there. I'll show all the models after the presentation. So now the old approach was to start with the biggest model. The modern approach is task-driven. Use powerful models only where needed, and efficient ones where everywhere else, where you don't need it. So this is how AI scales economically. Large foundational models have billions or trillions of parameters and helps in deep thinking, complex multi-step reasoning, and high fidelity content generation. So OpenAI O series, if you know the O3, O4 models, the GPT-4o models GPT-4o models, the Claude, Sonnet, and Opus models. So those are large language
Correct.
models. So you can. So those are the large language models. If you want to go for reasoning and generation, if you are going for slow latency and cost, you want it as fast as possible. Just with a few billion parameters, you have the SLM models which can also learn locally on your smartphones and laptops. We have the GPT mini models, the Phi models, the Llama models. We also have fine-tuned models. These are models which are specially trained for tasks like for medical inferencing, for finance. Some of the examples are MedPalm, that is for medical professional data made by Google. We have Bloomberg GPT, which is for finance. So yeah. So what Azure adds now is enterprise trust. Why you should use Azure, not open models, is it adds trust, it gives security, privacy, governance, and observability all into one platform. So that you can make scalable production systems. So top use cases you can see like people are using it for summarization, you can using for conversational AI, like you and me are using it for mostly for conversations. We have writing assistants, we can develop faster code. You can see the advances which has been made in the field of code generation by Opus models and the chat GPT models. The knowledge mining, if you want to get into very deep research, you have the deep research option in all the chat providers we have available today. So that is knowledge mining. We have social media trend analysis, and we have cross-functional insights in enterprises, like how are the businesses performing, what they can do better. So that's knowledge mining for you. So models are now interchangeable components. Okay. The real value is the system that runs and then safely at scale. Okay, that is Microsoft AI Foundry. So if you are a builder, you can do models, workflows, knowledge. If you want to operate it out, you have fine-tune and assets. For governing, you have admin and compliance. So, okay, we are at the end of the meeting. Okay, we have just a few minutes. Okay, so think I can show you a demonstration of AI Foundry and we can wrap up. Just give me a second. I think AI Foundry must be visible to you. So this is AI Foundry now, which I was talking about it. Okay. So this is the home page. If you go to ai.azure.com, this will come up. So home, you can just start building. You have the API key available. I have the project endpoint and the region available. You can always start to make you want to do a quick start, like you want to ask a question. You can always use this one. Let's go to discover what things are available by Foundry. So we have multiple numbers of model. You can see multiple providers we have. You can go to the models. I told you there are 350 plus models. So that's 377 as of today. You have all the models available based on the capabilities, based on the collections, like what kind of capabilities you want. What is the source? Means which company or whichever laboratory you want to work with. Everything's available. If I go to Anthropic, the Anthropic models are available. If I go to Azure OpenAI, the OpenAI models are available, the latest one being GPT 5.2 models. We have Cohere models. We have the re-rank models. We have data breaks. We have inceptions, multiple of them based on whatever you want to do. Based on the inference task, also you can sort them out and use them. We have tools available, like if you want to connect with multiple tools available, that's mostly MCP tools. So that Cyan will be discussing in the later session. What are these MCP tools? How do they connect from data, and how your chat is able to answer them so flawlessly? So that comes under MCP. Solution templates are available. You can build them. If you are a coder, you can jump right into it. You can create agents for yourself. Okay, you can create workflows. You have multiple models, you can use it. Like Sora model is available. You have the O3 models. I can just show you. I have a demonstration, don't worry. I have a demonstration, a short demonstration ready. I'm just skimming through the topics right now. So you have evaluations. If you want to evaluate the quality and safety of whatever the outputs are providing. Let's say you're working in a company. You want to see what outputs are going and are they safe or not? Or you're not giving some explicit outputs. You can always make sure that it doesn't go. So the guardrails and evaluation help you to control that. And operate, if you want to see the compliance industries need compliance, like HIPAA laws are there, Europe's GDPR are there, the India IT acts are there. If you want to keep everything, whatever you're giving, keep in compliance, you can always use them. The assets, the quota, how much you have actually used, you can always check out here. And the admin tree, the admin things which you want to manage. So this is mostly Microsoft AI Foundry. I know it's a little boring, I'll just get into a short demonstration and we will wrap up. Okay, give me a second. So Foundry has a tool called as Foundry Local. Means it helps you to learn models locally. So if I can just find a model, give me a second. Foundry model list. Okay, I think I have the Gun model. Give me a second. Okay, okay. Let me just get it ready for you. Must be having the Gun model. Yeah, that will work. Don't have web B. I got some issues. I'm sorry, guys, it's not working. But what I wanted to share is this is the Foundry local. It is a service provided by Foundry models. Like if you know about, do you guys know about Olama? Can you give me a thumbs up? If you know about Olama, what Olama is. Okay, so if people don't know about it, I can just go into Olama. So what Olama is, it helps you to learn models locally. Yeah, I think some of you know. So it helps you to learn models locally. If you want to just if you don't want to use internet, you can always use Olama. You can use an Olama model, and it will help you to answer questions right here in your command prompt. Or you can use it directly. You don't need to use internet. It doesn't need to have internet access, and it can answer questions for you. This is not working for me. I don't know why. There is some issue right now. So the same service, the Microsoft equivalent of Olama is Microsoft Foundry Local. It helps you to run these models are available. If I ask a question, it will come in a few seconds. I don't know, there is having some issues. This is not working right now. I'm really sorry about that. But what you will see is the responses will come in a few seconds. Like this thing can happen. I guess this is the one I have. Let me try it out. If I'm able to run, I'll just tell you. Okay, I don't have access, no worries. So you can always go out here. You can go to this website. If some of you can, okay, let me put it in the chat. You can always experiment it out here. Like how you can run AI models locally using on your own computer. Just turn off the internet, download it, then turn on off the internet. See how it works. It will give response in seconds. So this is something if you don't want to pay for any of the AI models, you can always use this. Just put the link out there. You can download it and experiment with it for yourself. I don't know why it's not working for me, but for you it should be
I think he's having some internet issues.
our host will be right back. Again, I think his connection was a little unstable there. So he got disconnected and he'll be right back. So just hang tight. And we'll be wrapping up this session and then we'll jump over to our next session. So we've got another exciting one for you. So just hang tight. He will be back as soon as he can get reconnected. And I think it's fun kind of learning all the things that are in the AI developer world and the tools that are available to us. I know some of them, but clearly not all of them. So as much as I'm excited to present on frameworks tomorrow, I also know that I'm here for all of this because there's quite a bit to learn. All right, he's struggling a bit with his return. Let's see how we're doing for time. Hitesh, how are you doing? When are you ready to begin?
We can begin. I think if he cannot join, we would move to the next session. Yeah,
Yeah.
Akshat, if you have any questions, you can open, or I will open up your mic. Yes, I think you can use your mic if you have any issue.
Yeah, we see one question. It's raised as AB. You can open up your mic. I see AB has a question. Go ahead.
Resources which are displayed.
I think you have some issue with the internet. You can type it out, like your voice is breaking.
Yeah, if you want to put any questions in the Q&A, we will grab them there. And then we can see what, okay, so we have
Do you
first
guys-
we have the original
Yep.
questions to what is AI.
Okay. Tools that Microsoft Foundry needs my card details to get. Yes, any cloud platform needs your card details, but you can get the student $100 packs for free. If you are in an offline session, you can connect with me and I will assist you with that.
All right, I think we could wrap it up because we're at time. Thank you, everybody. We're going to continue on with our next
Yep.
session. So if you have more questions and hopefully Saksham can join us there, and so he can have some wrap-up words as we jump in and start the next session. So we'll see everybody there. The Eventbrite kind of leads you, and if you've got it in your calendar, you'll get the invitation to the next webinar. And then
Yep. I've also given the meeting link for the next webinar. You can
Okay.
join directly from here. I
Yeah.
will start the meeting soon.
Sounds great. We'll see you in the next week. We'll see you in the
Sorry
next.
about that, guys. I had so many
Ah.
intermittents. So yeah, I'll see you in Hitesh's meeting. I'll be there. Really sorry about the intermittent. I don't know what happened right now. Okay, but I'll see you in Hitesh's meeting. Okay.
Okay.
See you
See you
guys.
there.
Okay, sure. Let's end this event.
Right, by the